The Calrixian armada hung in the void like a crown of death, 300 warships encircling Earth's pale blue sphere. Admiral Vexthor stood on the command deck of the flagship Endless Conquest, his 4 eyes gleaming with anticipation. In his 3,000-year military career, he had overseen the subjugation of 47 species. Humanity would be the 48th. "Status report," Vexthor commanded, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. "The human defenses are primitive, Admiral," his tactical officer reported. "Chemical propulsion, kinetic weapons, nuclear fission. They haven't even achieved basic plasma shielding. This will be over within hours." Vexthor nodded. The Galactic Concordance had deemed Earth ripe for annexation. The humans had barely ventured beyond their own moon. Their civilization fragmented into competing nation-states. They were perfect candidates for the labor colonies, strong enough to work, primitive enough to control. "Prepare the ultimatum broadcast," Vexthor ordered. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Addison Chen stared at the holographic display with exhausted eyes. The 28-year-old cryptographer had been working for 72 hours straight ever since the alien fleet had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Around her, the United Earth Defense Command buzzed with barely controlled panic. "They're broadcasting," Ryan Morrison called out from his station. The astrophysicist's hands flew across his console, his voice tight with tension. "Translating now." The message was simple and devastating. Surrender within 24 hours, or face complete annihilation. The Calrixians provided visual evidence, recordings of burned worlds, enslaved populations, entire civilizations reduced to ash. They had transmitted their demand in every Earth language simultaneously, a casual display of their technological superiority. "We can't fight them," General Harrisburg said, his voice hollow. "Every military analyst agrees. Our weapons are toys compared to theirs." Addison looked at the data streaming across her screens. The alien fleet's power signatures alone could glass the planet. Their shields could deflect anything humanity could throw at them. It was hopeless. But then Ryan noticed something. "Addison, look at this," he said, pulling up a secondary analysis. "Their broadcast, it wasn't just a message. It's a network handshake. They've linked their communication array directly to our satellite grid." Addison's heart began to race. "They're that confident? They've given us direct access to their communication network?" "Not just communication," Ryan said, his fingers dancing across the keyboard. "Look at the protocol structure. It's elegant, efficient. They've probably used the same system for thousands of years across hundreds of worlds." A dangerous idea began to form in Addison's mind. If they've used the same system for that long, across that many civilizations, then it's never been seriously challenged, Ryan finished. They've never encountered a species that could exploit it because by the time anyone could understand it, they were already conquered. For the next 18 hours, Addison and Ryan worked in a feverish blur. They weren't trying to hack the alien network. That would be impossible. Instead, they were crafting something far more dangerous, a message, not a plea for mercy or a declaration of defiance, but a demonstration. Using the Calrixians' own network protocols, they began to unravel the mathematical foundations of their technology. Faster-than-light communication, quantum encryption, plasma field generation, all of it followed logical principles that, once understood, could be reverse-engineered. And humanity, Addison realized, had one advantage the Calrixians had never encountered, a species that had built its entire modern civilization on information warfare, on finding vulnerabilities in systems, on creative problem-solving born from constant conflict. "We can't beat them," Addison said as she compiled the final packet. "Not today. But we can show them what we're capable of becoming." The message they crafted was elegant in its brutality. It contained complete schematics for replicating Calrixian shield technology derived entirely from their own broadcast data. It included theoretical improvements to their FTL drives based on human quantum mechanics research. It demonstrated step by step how humanity could weaponize the very communication protocol they were using against them. But most terrifying of all, it showed timeline projections. With access to Calrixian technology, humanity would achieve parity within 50 years, superiority within a century. And humans, the message made clear, had excellent memories for their enemies. "Send it," General Harrisburg ordered. "Not just to them. Broadcast it on every frequency, to every ship in their fleet. To every corner of the galactic concordance that can receive it." Ryan pressed the button. Aboard the Endless Conquest, chaos erupted. Admiral Vexthor watched in horror as the human message dissected his civilization's most guarded secrets. In 24 hours, these primitives had accomplished what should have taken centuries. The message concluded with a simple question, posed in flawless Calrixian. "Do you really want us as enemies?" Vexthor had seen the projections. The humans were right. Given time and motivation, they would become a threat unlike any the Concordants had faced. But more than that, the message had been broadcast across secure Concordance channels. Now every subjugated species in the galaxy had access to the same information, a roadmap to freedom. The Calrixian admiral made a decision that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Retreat. Full withdrawal. "Admiral, we can still—" "No!" Vexthor roared. "We've made a catastrophic error. These humans, they don't think like any species we've encountered. In one day, they've turned our own technology against us and potentially destabilized the entire Concordance. If we attack now, we create an enemy that will never stop, never forgive, and, given what they've just demonstrated, eventually surpass us." The Calrixian armada vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving Earth's skies clear. In the Colorado facility, Addison and Ryan collapsed into their chairs, hardly believing what they'd accomplished. They hadn't fired a single shot, but they'd won something more valuable than a military victory. They'd bought humanity time and planted the seeds of their own legend across the galaxy. Years later, when humanity finally ventured into the stars with their own fleet, they would find the galaxy changed. Species whispered about the humans who had defeated the Calrixians with nothing but their minds. The Concordance, fractured by the revelations in Addison's message, had collapsed into reformation. Earth was never threatened again, not because humanity was the strongest, but because every species in the galaxy had learned a vital lesson. Humans didn't play by anyone's rules but their own. And they were very, very good at changing the game.